Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Scott Goslin. I'm a major with the Maine State Police. The Maine State Police called this press conference in conjunction with the Federal Bureau of Investigation to help bring attention to the disappearance of 14-year-old Stephanie Dameron. Stephanie was last seen on September 23rd, leaving her home in New Sweden on foot and walking into the woods behind her home. Stephanie's family is very concerned for her safety, as are we. And to our knowledge, Stephanie does not have current access to electronic devices and has limited access to social media. We are looking for help from the public in order to maintain a vigilance for Stephanie and to report any tips or leads that might be helpful to our investigation. Stephanie is a white female, approximately 5 feet tall, 130 pounds, with shoulder-length brown hair, green eyes, as last reported wearing blue jeans, long-sleeve blue shirt with black Harley-Davidson hiking boots. A photograph of Stephanie is available for publication, and you can see a picture here. Since her disappearance, the Major Crimes Unit detectives in our Northern Field Division, along with the Boston Division of the FBI, have spent hundreds of hours investigating her disappearance, conducting countless interviews, and following up on leads. The Maine Warden Service have canvassed the woods searching for Stephanie, but at this time, there's been no credible information or sightings of Stephanie. The Maine State Police Major Crimes Unit North is collaborating with the Federal Bureau of Investigation with this missing person investigation. Anyone with information concerning Stephanie's whereabouts is urged to contact the Maine State Police at 1-800-924-2261 or 207-532-5400. And you may contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. At this time, I'd like to introduce Special Agent in Charge, Kim Milka from the FBI, who will be making an announcement regarding a reward related to this case.
Thank you, Major. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming and for helping us keep the public informed about our efforts to locate Stephanie. I'm Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Kimberly Milka with the FBI. Our hearts are with the family and friends of 14-year-old Stephanie Dameron, who are patiently waiting for answers about her disappearance and are hoping for her safe return home. On September 27th, 2024, the FBI joined forces with our law enforcement partners to assist in the search. Today, we are renewing our call for the public's assistance, and we are here to announce that the FBI is offering a significant reward of up to $15,000 for information leading to her safe return or the arrest and prosecution of anyone involved in her disappearance. The FBI hopes this reward will incentivize anyone with information about Stephanie's whereabouts to come forward. Any detail, no matter how small, could be helpful. Stephanie's family desperately wants to know where she is, and we are fully committed to helping our law enforcement partners exhaust every investigative resource to find her and bring her home. Immediately after she was reported missing, the FBI brought in our Child Abduction Rapid Deployment, or CARD team. The CARD team is a group of highly trained and experienced subject matter experts on cases involving missing children. Investigators have conducted dozens of interviews and followed up on leads in Maine, across the country, and even Canada. Despite extensive investigative efforts, including a neighborhood canvass and video search, along with an expansive grid search utilizing canines from Maine Warden Service and Maine State Police, Stephanie is still missing. We will continue to assist Maine State Police with on-the-ground investigative, technical, and analytical support. We know many of you want to help, which is why we are asking the public to review Stephanie's missing person poster and share it on social media. Rest assured, we are working to find out what happened to Stephanie and reunite her with her family.
So we'd also like to take just a moment and thank the members of the public and the media for their continued attention to this case. Your efforts in keeping Stephanie's disappearance in the forefront of the community are invaluable, and we do appreciate your support as we remain focused on bringing her home safely. As you know, there are some investigative details and strategies that are unable to be shared at this time, but we will do our best to answer a few questions if you have them.
Did she have a cell phone and leave it behind, or did she not have one at all? If she
There were no devices taken with her at this time, and she did not have a cell phone.
Has she run away before, and what is your hope that maybe that she's run away again this time, to simply say?
So this behavior has not been uncommon for Stephanie, which is why I think the family waited a little bit of time, gave her a little bit of time before calling the police immediately. And so, but in this case, for obvious reasons, since she hasn't turned up, we slowly ratcheted up all the investigative resources that are present, in that area today for this reason.
We've gotten some information about that there may be some concerns inside the household, no running water, things like that. There's other children in the household. Is DHHS involved at all?
Yes, thank you for that question. Of course, yeah. So in any of these cases, whenever we have a minor that's involved, that goes missing, or there could be an issue in the home, yeah, DHHS is always notified in those circumstances, and certainly in this case they were.
One of the flyers I saw said ties to West Virginia, Texas, and New Hampshire. Is that accurate? And if so, are those friends or other family members?
Lieutenant, did you want to speak to those?
So the tips that have come in for out of the area, so there's some for Canada and other states, they're tips from the public that maybe she had a social media friend at the time or an acquaintance. So we just try to follow up on any information for those outside states.
Do you have any reason to believe that there was foul play? You said that the card unit was involved, and then, or maybe that she's with somebody, or that she might have been meeting?
So at this point, everything is still on the table for us, from her simply being missing to run away to the worst situation, because we don't have any concrete leads or tips that have led us basically in one direction or the other. So we don't want to leave anything on the table and not take something serious. So, but at this point, there's nothing that leads us in one specific direction.
Was it verified that she went into the woods and with the dogs, or was there any sort of,
Other than the information that that's where she was headed, is the woods, and that is also past behavior as well.
we haven't uncovered any evidence about possible whereabouts?
We have not.
I know you guys waited a little bit to do that ground search, to do that extensive ground search, with the members of the community. Do you guys think maybe you waited too late to do that in order for the dogs to get sent, or what's the thought process on that?
So the ground search with the warden service was only a few days after the fact. Typically in a missing person investigation, you start with the investigative leads, and then you call in the resources that you need. So it's a matter of following up. So no, I don't believe it's too late. And the wardens they'll do a grid search as well, so it's more than just dogs, it's also humans as well.
What about anything that has led to trafficking, sex trafficking? I mean, we're talking the northern part of Maine, which people think it doesn't happen there, but in your experience, has there been anything that could be connected to this?
Again, all possibilities of what happened to Stephanie are still on the table. We don't have any specific information that that's what's happened, but we are trying to look into any tips that would lead us in that direction if we receive them.
Because it's so far up north, I know you said you were searching Canada as well. If she was in Canada, how would that process move forward? Look for her?
We would partner with the RCMP or the FBI also has resources that we can partner with other law enforcement to follow up on any information over there.
And the FBI doesn't typically get involved with, say, a typical run-and-play case. So people might be asking, why are you here? Is it because the family is concerned, because of potential violence?
Well, I think in any missing persons case, especially so close to the border like this, you're going to want to involve the FBI, especially in any missing persons case where we haven't taken anything off the table, nothing has been ruled out or eliminated. Crossing state lines is certainly in one of those possibilities, and of course that's outside our jurisdiction, so that's where we would really look for help from the FBI. Kim, did you?
Are there concerns it could still be in the woods, but in more danger with the falling temperatures and the snow this week?
Of course, there's always that concern. I think our hope, at the beginning of hunting season is that, you know, a hunter might come across something that would lead us in one direction or the other. That has not happened. There is still a little bit of hunting time left up in that area, so I would, you know, highly encourage those hunters that are up there to be extra vigilant.
Although this was like common behavior with Stephanie, was there anything that, you know, maybe the family indicated was different about maybe conversations or anything, like moments leading up to her leaving?
Yeah, we're really not going to get into those investigative details about, you know, what was happening in her life in that day or two prior to, but at this point, everything is still on the table.
Can you tell me if DHHS intervened at all, or anything that they may have done, or children still in the home, or did the children?
No, I'm sorry, I can't speak to what DHHS is doing or their involvement.
Well, you said she had a history of running away. I mean, how many times has she tried to run away?
I can't speak to that but for saying it was not uncommon. This was not uncommon behavior for Stephanie.
Was there a history of maybe mental health concerns or anything along those lines?
I don't believe there was at this point. I don't believe that there was any history of mental health concerns whatsoever. But again, certainly, you know, we proceed with all of these cases as if, you know, anybody is under mental duress or anything like that. So if there was an issue, we certainly, you know, wouldn't do anything differently at this point.
Okay.
Did she have a
We'll
passport?
let one more question. Go ahead.
Did she have a passport?
I don't know. I guess I can't speak to that. I don't believe she did. No.
And did she leave a note at all?
No.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
you.